Good afternoon, planners. How are you? I hope you all hear me loud and clear. Right, wait. Just making sure. Right, I did it. Hi. Good afternoon, you guys. Today is episode 31. Yes. And today we are talking about the stock exchange. So I am so super excited about this. This topic is near and dear. Very much important points will be given today. Yeah, I have a music today. I felt to be in a music mood this afternoon. Hi, darling, how are you? Hi. You guys come in and introduce yourself. Yes, our guest is here.
Hi.
Buenas noches.
I was busy
Um,
jamming some music for the time being. Yes. Sometimes you just have to find a way to vent out. So today was a little music day.
all right.
Hi, everyone. So today is episode 31. We are talking about the stock exchange market now. Everyone who did message me, I made sure I take account of all the questions and I wrote down every single one. So I know we're gonna have Renault very busy this afternoon. We have on his P and Q today, and if you guys have any more questions, you can always just send us the message, and we will definitely try our best to answer it tonight or tag on some content towards it because he has a lot of content along this entire topic today on the stock exchange, and I know a lot of you are very much interested in learning a lot about it. So without further ado, let's jump in to the madness.
All right. Good evening, folks. Sorry, you guys, man. Hope you're doing good. Letitia, I could see that you're great. You're looking splendid first in the shiny glasses, man.
Thank you very much.
Okay. So I'm just going over some of the questions that were
Yeah,
sent beforehand. We have a lot of
lots of
questions. So
questions.
some good questions though, man. So I
So,
think
But if you want,
Thanks to the-
what we could do is I could ask you questions so you don't have to sit down and reread or read it out to remember what it
Right.
is to make it a little easier for you because it was real questions. I was like, Jesus, wait. It was really
Yeah.
nice. I am very much impressed with the amount of questions we did get for this topic, so you can know this topic is hot.
All right. Yeah. I think a lot of people are interested. They always hear about the stock exchange. They want to invest
Correct.
in stock. But, actually getting the foot wet, getting started is,
Mhm. Something that we
sometimes.
will always be interested in.
Yeah.
Correct is right. So, all right, let us start with the most important thing. What is the stock exchange? What is it? What is entitled? I see the we already get we already get another one. I think that is one tying into what we already have. So it will definitely fall in.
All right, this is a question from Legacy Graphic Studio. Well, they always come with good questions. So,
Yeah.
yeah, and that is something that I actually just discussed with someone this week. So I guess, yeah, we'll come on to that just now. All right. So I guess before we go into the specifics, we have to deal with what is not so much as the stock exchange, because there are several stock exchanges around the world. So I guess you have to ask, what is a stock exchange?
Correct.
And the way I like to think about it, a stock exchange is an aggregation of buyers and sellers.
Correct.
So a stock exchange is like a medium between someone interested in buying stocks. And when I say stocks, I have to say most stock exchanges you can trade or invest in other types of securities like
Correct.
bonds. Some of them more fancy, you could do derivatives and that sort of thing. So when I say stock exchange, I mean, stocks, bonds, all these sort of assets.
Commodities.
So a stock exchange is a medium that facilitates the transfer of funds in exchange for stocks, bonds, what have you. And oftentimes they settle the transaction in that they may confirm or ensure that the transaction is completed successfully. And so like I said, there are several stock exchanges around the world. Right here in Trinidad and Tobago, we have the Trinidad and Tobago Stock Exchange. Across in the neighboring Caribbean islands, there's the Barbados Stock Exchange, there's the Jamaican Stock Exchange. I believe there's a Leeward Island Stock Exchange as well.
Okay.
Which is small and not as well known. And of course, we have the big boys like the NASDAQ, the New York Stock Exchange, in London, the LSE, which is the London Stock Exchange. In China, the Shanghai Stock Exchange, and in Germany, the DAX, which is based in Frankfurt, Germany. So what you find is that each major region of the world has a major stock exchange or two.
Okay.
So there's a couple in Asia, in Hong Kong, and in China. There's a couple in the London Stock Exchange and the DAX based in Germany. And in the Americas, well, NASDAQ and the New York Stock Exchange are the two biggest ones.
Right. We know a lot about that one for sure. We're always hearing that one on the news, right?
All right, of course. Right.
So, like for instance, which some of us may be aware, the global or economic changes, does that really and truly affect the stock exchange? Some of them say yes, some say no, it depends. What is your take on that?
All right. So how I'll break it down is not so much to use the word stock exchange. I'll use the word, I would say that events like in the news will affect sentiment on a particular business, and which will eventually affect the stock price. Now, I like to think of stocks. Stocks essentially represents a very little part of a business. So, for instance, the Coca-Cola company, when you're buying one share of Coca-Cola or one stock in Coca-Cola, you become a part owner of Coca-Cola. So that's the way to think about it. In that you're buying a piece of a company. Don't think about it as a piece of paper or digital code. You're buying a piece of a company. And in the same way as if you had a parlor down the road, which would be affected by TNT taking away current. Anything that affects the underlying business, more often than not, will affect the stock price. Right. So major events, for instance, the global pandemic that we're currently in the grips of and hopefully on the recovery from, it affected, for example, airline stocks very, very badly. Because the underlying businesses, the airline businesses like American Airlines, Lufthansa, CAL, although I don't think CAL is listed on the stock exchange, because the underlying businesses were affected by people not traveling as frequently because of the global pandemic, there's a attendant decrease in the stock price because the prospects of a business, the underlying business, were affected or dimmed by the global pandemic. So too, an investor would be less keen to invest in those companies because of that reason. Hence the decrease in the price. This is all about supply and demand.
Answering people at the same time. Right? Someone now asks how to get in contact with you. Don't worry, we'll definitely give you all that details at the end, but you could always find him on his IG, Facebook, and what else social media handle you have? You on Twitter?
No, kind of, but not really. You can check us. You can email us. You can check out our website, cirobusinessgroup.com. SCIRO businessgroup.com. Yeah. No. But before we move on, now you mentioned that global events and economic activities can affect the stock. It can affect stock prices.
Correct.
People see that as a negative, but for the savvy investor, that can actually be a positive. Right. So me personally, I'm a disciple of Warren Buffett. I follow his principles on value investing. So Warren Buffett is what you call a contrarian investor. So when people are fearful about investing in a stock and the price goes down, that is the time when people like him and contrarian investors like him buy it. Because psychologically, as humans, we tend to overestimate how good something is and how bad something is. And we tend to undervalue, for instance, the global pandemic. People in my opinion, undervalued certain types of stock because they were fearful. They were not sure about what will happen in the future. For example, with hotel stock. Now would have been the perfect time to invest in hotel stocks if you could hold on for the long term to see that price rebound. So if you're looking for a quick buck, that might not be the way to go. But if you're thinking long term, like I try to do and what I espouse, then those negative price reductions due to economic events, global events, whatever happens in the news, you can actually use that to advantage and invest. No, it doesn't mean that every time you see the price of a stock go down, that it's time to buy. The good reason that the stock is down, it could be terminally ill. So like a patient who ain't coming back.
Definitely have to do research. So you're not jumping in with your eyes closed. You're making sure you check your stuff first before. As we always tell you guys, make sure you do your research and understand first before you jump in. You're not gonna jump in and then hold your head and board this thing too risky and what I do this for. You know how we just love to say those things. We love to do that. Okay, ask you one question. All right, that was definitely time. So one of the questions we have, she spoke about the stockbrokers in Trinidad. She sees there are 6. All right, yes. Don't worry, that would be answered one of the questions we have. We were time. Definitely. You're hitting my questions that I get, man.
I feel you should invite Legacy Graphic Studios onto the
I feel so, we should add
onto
it.
the panel.
She jumping in good. She jumping in good. So that is definitely one of the next questions that I did get. Who is a good broker to register with, especially when you're jumping into this whole trading? Who is definitely a good broker to use? Is it wise for you to do it locally, or is it wise for you to use an international one?
All right. So different stockbrokers, they will have coverage of different markets.
Right.
So I would say the locally based stock exchanges, I believe there are 6 or 7 or 7 of them officially sanctioned by the Trinidad and Tobago Stock Exchange. They can give you coverage to all the companies listed on the TNT Stock Exchange.
Okay.
So we're talking like Prestige Holdings, which is the franchise holder for Pizza Hut, KFC, and some other Subway and some other major restaurants, other companies like Ansa Macal, Massey. So if you want EL, which is Trinidad Cement Limited. So if you want exposure to those companies, you could open a brokerage account with one of these 6. There are different ones like Caribbean Stockbrokers, West Indian Stockbrokers, Boss Securities. These are some of the names. And they also, at no extra cost, they also can give you exposure to the other regional stock exchanges, so like the Barbados Stock Exchange and the Jamaican Stock Exchange.
Okay.
So you can invest very easily with those, using those stockbrokers on not just the Trinidad and Tobago Stock Exchange, but those in Jamaica and Barbados as well.
They won't tie into the international ones, though.
No, I believe that they can, and they do offer that service. But in my opinion, it may be best to go with some of the more international stock brokerages, which are more online stock brokerages. The fact of the matter is, the local stock brokers, they still based on a system. It's not an electronic system. You have to actually.
I got you.
Right, you have to email or call.
Okay.
And tell them, what stocks you want to buy and at what price.
That time wasting. I don't mean to be bad, but that time wasting.
Well, to their credit, the TNT Stock Exchange is in the process of moving to an online real-time system, similar to what you see in movies and with interactive movement and the big international stockbrokers. So. And that has been in training for almost a year now. I'm patiently waiting for it to be launched.
Because I know the international ones you can definitely use your credit card to start off the process. Right. Correct. Or transfer wire transfer. Correct?
Exactly. Right. So you can do that, and you could do your trading, or investing from a computer. And it's almost real time in terms of buying and selling. Whereas on the TNT Stock Exchange with the local brokers, you're talking days to get an order filled.
That's so bad.
Well, it's reality, but like I said, we're working on improving that. I remember a time I bought some stocks on the local stock exchange many years ago. But there's comparatively not as much activity on the local stock exchange as the international ones. Like minute in comparison. I remember the stocks that I bought. I believe I bought some stocks in Trinidad Cement. Terrible idea. But anyway, I bought some stocks in Trinidad Cement on a particular day, and TV6 and the other local TV stations, they tell you what is the activity in the stock market on a particular day. The stocks that I bought that day were the only shares traded in TCL for that day. And I was like, wow. I remember telling my parents, like, wow, you see that is me right there. See those 1,000 shares of TCL? That is me.
And you know you would have been proud. I win that day. I win something. You
Yeah,
would have
man.
been
So
extremely happy for that.
yeah, so I was the only person in the world to know that. You know, I was
Good.
the one who purchased the. That's the only person responsible for the stocks on
For
that
that
day.
movement on that day.
Yeah.
But that is it is something that we should really work on, especially as you rightly say. I mean, yes, in the we are not as big as internationally in terms of that big movement, but if we could encourage more people to invest in something like that, invest in stocks, I don't know if it will help
Well,
improve the overall.
when they move to the online system, it will definitely help because it will be more fast paced.
Correct.
So I'm patiently waiting for that. But what I tell people to do in the meantime, it won't hurt to open a local stock brokerage account and get familiar with the local stockbrokers and the local stocks. So you can
Right.
start to monitor the swings, the price changes, look at the underlying fundamentals of the companies. So that
Right.
when the local stock exchange goes online, that you will be primed to,
No
jump at
matter
it.
by.
And
Okay.
it's very simple to set up a brokerage account. All you need two forms of ID. You
Mm-hmm.
need what do you call it? Utility bill for
Correct.
verification of your address.
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember if they still require a job letter. I think some of them may have
Most
waived
likely,
that.
yes. Yes. Most likely, yes. Because the members are investment account. So, yes, definitely a job letter or some form to say where you're getting your income from, especially if you're an
Right.
entrepreneur. You will have to
Right.
use maybe financial statements
Mhm.
or if you pay yourself from your company, your pay slip should be able to do, but a sole trader might definitely have to do financial statements for sure.
Mhm.
If I'm wrong, you could always verify, but I'm sure
Yeah.
you know where your money comes from.
Yeah. All the requirements are on when you go on the TT Stock Exchange website, all the requirements are there. All the listed stockbrokers and all their requirements are there. So, and it's very simple. Your ID, job letter, proof of address, and and I think there's an application fee. I think for
That's fine.
ranges from, it's not a lot of money, it's like a couple $100, like $200-300 last time I checked. So
Okay,
not
okay,
a big investment at all.
okay. Interesting, interesting. So, who, in terms of internationally, do you recommend in terms of opening or registering a stockbroker account with internationally? Do you have any favorites that you, if you
Now this is a
have
funny
favorites?
story. Well, so last year, about this time last year, and it was later on, about August last year, we actually launched a book, and it's still available, a free, well, technically it's not free, but an ebook showing persons from developing countries like Trinidad and Tobago how to open an international online brokerage account. The book is called Make Money Investing Online, Even If You're Not from the US.
Right,
So, very straightforward, no secrets there. And so the book also mentions some of the stock exchanges, stock brokers that
right.
accept persons from developed countries like Trinidad and Tobago,
Okay, okay,
right?
okay, okay.
No, unfortunately, the number one brokerage that we had recommended
Mm-hmm.
no longer accepts persons from TNT,
Oh,
and I
shucks.
believe that, yeah, I think it has something to do with the financial money laundering legislation,
Okay, okay, all right.
right? That, and so I believe TNT was blacklisted. It's not something that makes me often enough, but yeah. So they intentionally closed the accounts and everybody tried to make a kick us off the platform. So,
Okay,
so right
okay.
now we're experimenting with a couple other online brokerages to find one that is suitable for us.
Right,
So one with low fees, one that accepts credit cards,
right.
because of the US crisis that we're going
Mhm.
through, access to hard US dollars is difficult, but
Correct, correct.
some accept credit cards, so that is how we prefer to fund our stock purchases and stuff. So right now we're actually experimenting with interactive brokers
Mm-hmm.
and another online brokerage called XTB. XTB at Interactive Brokers, and we're trying out a few others. And eventually, when we find one that we could feel comfortable with, that ticks all the boxes, like low margins, low fees, easy top up, easy withdrawal, then we'll definitely publish it and let you guys know what we recommend.
Yes, because we are interested in things like this very much, very much. So in terms of investing, what do you normally suggest that people should start with? Should they start with shares, stocks, or commodities when they're jumping into this new way of getting passive income? Because this is very passive income you're getting here.
All right. So the commodity. Sorry about that.
That's all
The
right.
commodity. I would definitely recommend stocks and bonds to start with.
Right.
Not just any stocks. I would recommend dividend stocks.
Right.
Because they tend to be less volatile than growth stocks. So growth stocks are stuff like Airbnb, Tesla,
Right.
those fancy names. Whereas dividend stocks are more mature companies like Coca-Cola,
Right.
JP Morgan, companies that have been around a while and actually pay a dividend. Why I recommend that is because for a beginner, the dividend stocks tend to be more, what do you say? There tends to be less volatility in price.
Okay.
Plus, you get the benefit of a dividend. So, yeah, no set up and down. Yeah, a little thing, but not as much as Tesla and some of these other names.
Right.
Plus, you get the added benefit of they get a little bit of money back each quarter or so, just for owning the stock.
That passive income, yes, that's the passive income we're talking about.
Right. That's correct. Yeah.
We definitely want the money. That passive income is important because you want to know that even though you invest, you're still getting back some sort of return for that investment. So as you rightly say, that is definitely something that you should really look at, the dividend shares instead, or the dividend stock instead of just taking the growth one. Correct?
Right.
Right. See, all you're getting good information here. Good information. Okay, so now the next one of the questions that was asked: where do you learn to read the trades, especially if you want to do it for yourself? Well, we discussed your ebook, which will teach you some of these things as well. Correct?
That's correct.
Right. So definitely you can find that, right? And the ebook is very nice. It's very easy. I have it.
That's yes.
So yes, that is definitely an easy way for you to learn, because as Legacy said earlier, we don't want to jump in with what's the name of the place she said? FX, so whatever name she called earlier on. We want to actually learn on our own and not go and say we're gonna go by somebody and learn and then we don't understand. Do you in any way give training or courses along that line to help people if they want to learn it better? Or have you think about doing something like that?
All right. So 3 things. So we have the book, like I mentioned, which follows a freemium model. So essentially, you could download it tonight if you want and pay what you want. You could pay as little as $0.00, which most people do. Or you could, pity us and give us a few shillings to access the content. And so that is an introduction, and it gives you resources, most importantly, resources where you can learn for yourself on how to read candlesticks, which are those little up-down things that you see on the stocks. They're very simple to read once you know what to look for, right? And it provides some other valuable resources to help you on your journey of self-education. And I would also recommend, I'm a big proponent of the University of Google and the College of YouTube. Right?
I love it.
Right, I'm a proud graduate. Right? So Google, YouTube, watch videos if you prefer video content. That will help you out a lot. Just type in Google how to read a stock. How to know if your stock.
Okay, we are having technical difficulties. Oh, he come back. No, he freeze again. All right, you're back now.
Right. I'll say apart from looking at the price fluctuations, you have to look at the underlying financial underpinnings of the companies. So
Right.
learning the basics of reading a balance sheet and that kind of stuff is very important. And you can find a world of YouTube videos just showing you the basics on how to do that. Now we're actually working on offering a course. A lot of persons have asked for us to offer a course on the basics of learning to trade and invest. I prefer the word invest in stocks and bonds and other securities. So feel free to reach out to us and let us know if you're interested, and we'll definitely put you on the notice list, on the waiting list when the course is being offered. And so, you know, we plan to offer that very soon, both focusing on the local TTS stock exchange and the international stock exchanges.
Very good. Very good. And I suppose definitely people will be interested in something like that. Again, we want to have that passive income.
Yeah.
That's the magic word there, passive income. So definitely you could be able to do it on your own without having to hire an expert to do it for you when you definitely, of course. But if you some of them kind of frightened and still afraid to do it by yourself, is it wise to really hire an expert to do it for you? And who will you suggest, or do you have any suggestion of somebody that you could hire to do something like that?
Okay, so there are some brokerages, both locally and internationally, where they have experienced broker to help you or assist you in the process. So they will typically, you know, get some information on what your risk profile is like, what is your risk tolerance, and they will help you. They won't choose for you, but they'll point you in the direction of certain investments to look at, and they could definitely, you know, help you do that. Now, I believe that the person before was asking about cash FX, which is a very popular. I don't know if to call it. I guess it's a hybrid between a stock trading club and a stockbroker. Now, I don't know much about cash FX, so I can't speak on it authoritatively, but I believe that they primarily invest and trade in cryptocurrencies. And then there's the multi-layer part of it where you come in under someone and that sort of thing. From what I can tell, there are merits to it, like apps, programs like Cash FX. But me personally, I prefer to invest and trade on my own because I'm willing to invest that time on educating myself. So what I can say is that the Cash FX, it seems to be working for persons who have invested in it thus far. I haven't heard much negative reports, thankfully. So I guess before you take that plunge, you have to do some more research on your own. Independent research. Don't just go on what people tell you. Do some independent research to see if it's right for you. Before you put your hard-earned money at risk.
Correct. It's always important to do your research, as we keep saying all the time. So, the next hard question: what is the difference between this bull and bear market? Why do they always say that word bull and bear? What is the purpose of using the word bull and bear?
All right. So, historically, they like to explain it like this: when a bull attacks, you know, he comes with the horns and goes up.
Correct.
Right. When a cow comes into booty, it go up. Right. And a bear, when it attacks, it goes down. It slashes down.
Oh.
So the bull market represents a sentiment where the market is positive and people are more willing to invest and prices tend to go up.
Okay.
A bear market is market conditions where sentiments are more negative and prices may decline. So the price of, let me say a stock, using another example, Coca-Cola. Again, in a bear market, stocks like Coke and all the others in that particular market segment might be going up. in a bull market. Where in a bear market, stocks tend to go down. Now, because don't be fooled into thinking that means that because prices are going down, that it's a bad time to invest. Now, a good and savvy investor could make money in any type of market, whether it be a bull, aggressive, positive looking market, or a downward and negative looking market. And so you need to know how to make money, how to invest wisely in both types of environments in order to be successful.
And all of that you will learn in your course?
You'll learn the beginnings, but I think the intermediate course that we're going to offer would shed more light on that.
All right. Okay. Very good. Very good. Very good. So, all right. Another question that was asked is, what is the stop close order or stop loss order? First I know all right. Well, I don't laugh at me. All right, too fast. What is the stop loss order?
All right, so a stop loss order is what is it? An order that you can place with your broker. And you actually say, here, what? I'm buying this stock. Let's say I'm buying stocks in Destiny Planners LLC. I buy it at $10 and I see the price shoot up to $18. Now, and then I see the price start to drop back down. It dropped down to $10 again and then dropped to $9. I said, boy, look, I'm losing some money here. So you can put in a stop loss order, which will tell your broker that once the price hits $8, you stop losses. So it will automatically sell the stocks that you have. So you stop making any further losses. So I guess the key is in the name. So you're stopping the losses.
Correct. Okay, got you.
So is there a way to protect yourself? Because unless you want to stay up all night watching the price of the stocks that you invested, you can put it beforehand and say, all right, I'll buy it at 43. If it dropped below 40, I ain't willing to take any more risk. So sell it, all the stocks I have below $40 once you hit price hit $40. And you can go away, go on vacation, and know that you have some level of protection just in case the price declines.
So definitely this should be something that you should put in place once you are trading. That stop loss order, that should definitely be on every trade that you set up.
Yeah, it is definitely recommended that you put in the stop loss orders. And I guess with time and experience, you will know intuitively what sort of level to place your stop order, what price to put your stop loss orders.
Okay. Because with that, you will not having that stop loss, you will definitely be under the impression that investing in the stock market for sure, you will feel that it's stressful. Because most people, we buy on emotions. So imagine now you go and you buy your share and you say, right, I buy shares, I see it was going up, and all of a sudden now you see it drop. Let's talk about that emotion and mental health when it comes to trading or investing in the stock market.
Yeah, so I personally believe that in investing, you have to be able to control, if not almost kill your emotions. And with time and practice, you could actually do the opposite of what your emotions are telling you to do. Because typically, if you buy something at $10 and you see the price drop to $6 overnight, what do you think most people do?
Repeat that again, you woke up.
If you buy a stock at $10 and overnight it drops to $6, what do you think most people do?
Panic. Most people panic.
And they might sell.
Correct.
Because that's an emotional response. Is lost. You're feeling pain. Like, oh my gosh.
Where my money go?
That's maturing on them vacation. Stock money gone.
Should I?
But if you're investing in the long term, once you're very confident that that company is sound
Right.
and the stock also is sound, then the thing to do when the stock drops is not to sell, it is actually to buy more.
Okay. The savvy investor.
Right. The contrarian. Whenever folks who listening, whenever you can, Google the term contrarian investor. So in order to make sums of money, provided you do your proper research, the way you make money is to go against the mark, go against what everyone else is doing.
Okay.
Warren Buffett has a saying, be fearful when others are greedy, and be greedy when others are fearful.
Right.
So the times when people are fearful and prices dropping, that is probably the best time to, if not hold, if you have an investment, then the next best thing, the best thing is to buy. The next best thing is to keep holding. But with the time and experience, you'll know when to hold and when to drop and when to buy. So it can't be ruled by emotions.
Experience definitely will help you there, and it will definitely protect you because you don't want to be in a situation where you're holding your head and bothering, oh gosh, I'll do this wrong, because you cannot have that emotion inside it. So, as you mentioned about what are some good books can people start to read besides getting your ebook, because we don't tell them that they have to get it.
Buy my ebook.
What are good books for them to start to read to get themselves knowledgeable of the information in terms of how to start the process, especially those who don't want to go anywhere else besides you already see my YouTube. What do you call it? University of YouTube and what on Google?
The University of Google and the College of YouTube.
Right. Besides you going there, what are some good books that we can start to read?
All right. So probably the most famous investing book for contrarian investors, long-term investors, is a book called The Intelligent Investor by Benjamin Graham, who was the mentor for Warren Buffett. He actually taught him at university.
Okay.
I'm actually reading it right now. It is chock full of information.
Mm-hmm.
It's a little bit dense, the information, but it's chock full of information. The Intelligent Investor, I highly, highly recommend it.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot of wisdom.
Okay.
I always tell people the difference between knowledge and wisdom.
Correct.
And the wisdom you can accrue, the better for you.
Correct.
All right?
Correct.
But honestly, before you get to that stage of reading The Intelligent Investor, I like to help people more cultivate their minds along the lines of a business and investing mindset.
Mm-hmm.
And some of the books I recommend for that, more laying the foundation. I think that Intelligent Investor is more intermediate to master level, but laying the foundation. Mm-hmm. I recommend some of the books by Robert Kiyosaki, like Rich Dad, Poor Dad.
Right.
And my favorite, Cash Flow Quadrant.
Right, yes.
Cash Flow Quadrant is remarkable.
Already.
Mind you, I have to say this. Robert Kiyosaki, the stories that Robert Kiyosaki tells, are highly questionable. I'm not sure that half of those things in those books actually happened, but that does not take away from the usefulness of the information in the book. All right, so I must put that out there. I don't think that Rich Dad and Poor Dad is a true story, or at least a highly, highly exaggerated story, but that doesn't take away from the value that you can get from the book.
Correct. The book has some knowledgeable information. Let's put it as knowledgeable information. I see like somebody did say they find it amazing. Rich Dad, Poor Dad.
What's that?
Somebody said they found the book amazing.
Yeah, it is amazing.
Anybody have any questions that they want to ask? We already discussed the ebook. Don't forget to go get all your free ebook and learn. And don't forget to call if you are interested in learning. because he will soon have a course, dependent on how much people call him. So you all call. If you all have any, let me make sure we answer all legacy questions, even though she's not here. Okay, tell us about the easy. All right, we talk about that. All right, I think he's having technical issues. All right, we talk about how to invest. Talk about that. Okay, I think he's getting internet issues because I am not seeing him at all, you guys. But I know internet has been giving a lot of trouble these days. I am seeing him on and I'm still seeing him waving, so I don't know what's happening. So if you guys have need to find out any information at all about his ebook, you can go on his IG page. You'll definitely get all the information there. He's also on Facebook as well, and you can definitely send him a DM message, and you can ask him about the courses that he intend to teach on how to be an investor, right, on the stock exchange, and how to learn how to read the stock sheets and everything. And other than that, see you next week. Next week's topic supposed to be, yes, I'm forgetting, more about if you all are interested again to go a little deeper into online trading. If not, we may mix it up for another important topic. But you guys, if you all want to learn a little more on online trading, you can always send me a DM and let us know at Destiny Planners, and we will definitely get that going for next week. Definitely, internet is definitely giving trouble for him because he keeps sending me the requests and I'm keep adding, and I'm not getting him to come on. I don't know what's happening. Technical issues. It can't always be perfect. So if you guys have any questions, you can always leave a message either on his page or on Destiny Planners page, or you can leave a comment at the bottom of this live when we are done. And we will see you guys next week. Enjoy the rest of your night. Bye.